so high. All I do is lay low. Only time I talk is when I'm talking about the payroll. Mama's make 'em. When I come back, they go like me for what I. Mama's make 'em. My name na Manga, na one for make 'em, one for make 'em, one for make 'em.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning K-Town, your breakfast show on KCBS TV. We are straight out of K-Town and my name is Christy Ijang. What better way to start your day than tuning in to the best source of inspiration? First things first, our thought of the day. An eye for an eye makes the world blind. Thank you for joining us on today's edition of the program. After the break, we welcome Eswa Julius with something new. Stay tuned.
I really wanna know you. Are you from around? I really wanna know you. Everywhere you go, I will follow you. Baby girl, come na na na. I beg no waste time, come na na na. Me want marry you, come na na na. Tu sais que tu veux prendre la la la. Oh, take it down low. Give it to me, baby, yes, take it down low. Push my soul, baby, take it down low. Wanna hold you tight, I become noble. Tu me donnes, oh, je te donne. Tu me donnes, oh, je te donne. Tu me donnes, oh, je te donne, chérie, je te donne. Girl, yo, on fait comment? Joli bébé, on fait comment? Chérie Coco, on fait comment? Joli bébé, on fait comment? Baby, come, avec l'argent, on vit pas une moto. Me, I never ever see this kind of beautiful girl. My baby bad, my baby sweet, my baby shape pass, big on number 8. If my baby track, boy you go populate. Not take a plenty because you go turn to crazy. Oh, take it down low. Give it to me baby, yes, take it down low. Push my soul, baby, take it down low. Wanna hold you tight, I become noble. Tu me donnes, oh, je te donne. Tu me donnes, oh, je te donne. Tu me donnes, oh, je te donne. Je te donne, chérie, je te donne. Girl, yo, on fait comment? Joli bébé, on fait comment? Chérie Coco, on fait comment? Joli bébé, on fait comment? Donne-moi ça.
Welcome back. This is Good Morning K-Town. Let's welcome Eswa Julius with something new. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Christy.
How are you doing?
Okay, I'm nice. I always like being on your show.
Okay, you're welcome. So what are we learning this morning?
Today we're going to learn something new as usual.
Okay.
You live in Kumba.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to Boya, how do you travel?
By bus.
And where does the bus travel?
Where?
Yeah.
By road.
Okay, and how is the road?
Good.
It's tarred, I think.
Yeah, of course it's tarred.
Okay, so today we're going to know the history of tar, why the roads are tarred and stuff like that. Okay. You always said of the word macadamized road when the old style says it's macadamized.
Okay.
Or it's called a tarmac.
Okay, tarmac.
Actually, the name macadamized comes from a Scottish engineer who discovered what he was called John Loudon McAdam.
Okay.
So the word is called macadamized because he's the one who invented the material that is used today to tar roads. He was called macadamized. Then a man called Edgar Hooley added a layer called tar.
Oh, okay.
So it's called tarmac. So both of them invented what was used as tarmac. So that's how it started. So McAdam invented the material that is used to surface roads, and then you have Edgar Hooley who came and added a final touch called the tar. So we call it tarmac.
That's very
Yes, that's how having tars was being tar. But before then, the Egyptians used to use tar, but they used to use a material from petroleum
Okay.
to make the roads level. But even Baghdad had level roads in the 1600s. And Egypt, as early as 1000 BC, Egypt was real, had level roads. There wasn't until the 1820s where they actually discovered the standard material.
No, okay, 1820.
Yeah, actually discovered that was 1820. Actually discovered it. That is now being used as standard. And the first long macadamized road was 1,300 meters long. That was from America. It was ordered by King George of Britain when America was still a colony of Britain, so they used it to all the American colonies.
Oh, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And now we also have people recycling plastic. They're using recycled plastic to
Yeah,
tar
it's
roads.
something, you know, like you have what we call today, how do you call it? When you have your zinc, when your zinc is bad, you come and put something on top.
What we call potty.
What the comfort is something of that's the mentality how it started.
Oh, I
Something when it
see.
gets cold, you know. You already cold tar. Here we say cold tar. Actually, it's cold tar. It becomes solid. It's cold when the tar becomes cold. You just say cold tar.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
that's
pigeon
it,
is crude.
Yeah. So when this material was called that this is the best material to make roads
okay.
durable, and that's why it's used. Roads can last for thousands of years. Of course, the Egyptians had roads, but it wasn't as durable as. Of course, if they used the tire would have been lasting till today.
Wow, that's interesting.
Okay. And the first in the also Champs-Élysées in fact was the first place to actually have the whole place start. Champs-Élysées.
Wow.
Now the good thing with Europe is that when something is good, they copy.
Okay.
I don't know why Africans just keep admiring.
They go there, see the good things, they come
And they
back
come
here.
yeah.
And they don't even
Yeah.
change.
So when you hear of a macadamized thoroughfare,
Wow.
think of John Lydon Macadam, who invented the material we call today or macadamized road, but that's being used today to work on road, and also Edgar Hooly, who added the last layer. So you have the tar, you have the mark. It's called tarmac from those two people.
Wow, that's very interesting. And I'm
They
thinking
were
like,
Welsh, yeah, Scotland, from Scotland. It's Welsh. basically.
and I'm thinking like, what can we invent now to have our names also?
Africa.
I think they have literally invented everything.
Africa is purely a consumer economy.
Really, that's true.
But Africans
But
will do
things will
invent,
change,
just that
yeah.
we're not used to, don't keep archives now, good records in Africa.
And then our governments also do not really promote us.
We don't have role models.
Yeah,
Our role models are embezzlers, they're scammers.
yeah,
You know, embezzle government and you buy a car, who admire you. Some man buy 10 motor, you don't come, you buy land, you tie big 10 houses.
all right.
Maybe you are and those who keep money, I don't know what I call them, delegates, or those who actually control budget. This is money and buy their property, you don't be any school, nothing remains. Or say mayor lives his council with no building, but he has houses everywhere, and people admire him. And those are role models we have now, which is very unfortunate if you ask me.
That's true. All right, thank you so much. It
Oh,
was
it's my
really
pleasure.
learning. It was nice learning this morning. All right, that's it. Let's have a break. When we come back, we're going to welcome our first guest. You stay tuned to Good Morning K-Town.
Japan China beauty, positive energy, yo was on point.
In other place.
Japan no be lie, I dey sing yo. Every day no my go time, thank you yo. Oh, no be lie, I dey talk yo. Every day na you over the press yo. Oh, no be lie, I dey sing yo. Every day no my go time, thank you yo. Oh, no be lie, I dey talk yo. Every day na you over the press yo. Oh, eh, adango yo la oh, malua bamenda. Adanga matifala oh, mabawu bafoya. Adango yogala oh, malua bamenda. Adanga matifala oh, mabawu bafoya. I never seen anyone like you. Every second I meet, I'm alive, you are there.
Welcome back. This is Good Morning K-Town. We are straight out of K-Town. Our next guest is Mr. Ekwebe David. He is a staff at the Inspectorate of Basic Education, Kumba 1. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
How are you doing?
We're doing fine.
Welcome to Good Morning K-Town.
It's
We
a
are happy
pleasure.
to have you here.
Yeah, I'm happy being here too.
All right. So today we want to talk about holidays. You know, we are soon approaching holidays just in a few weeks, and we just want to know, like, how can children make good use of this period?
Yeah, thank you once more. You know, children, they cannot do anything on their own.
Mm-hmm.
They always need a guide.
Absolutely.
And we parents, we are the ones to guide them.
Well
So
said.
most students, they think that when it is holiday,
Mm-hmm.
it is time for them to go play
I
and
know.
just lazing around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, holidays mean children resting from maybe classroom work
Okay.
to other activities in the society.
Okay.
And so we, the parents, will need to guide them in such a way that they don't go astray.
Okay.
Yeah. Some children, when once they are out and they are not guided, they meet peers.
Mm-hmm.
And these peers, they come from different backgrounds and they influence to their own behavior.
Yeah.
So we must be behind them. So in this case, we like to ask parents to guard against certain ills that are happening in the society.
Wow.
And first, there is this aspect of people capitalizing on the crisis like what we have in this side of the country.
Very true.
And most of them, they get to exploit the children.
Mm-hmm.
Or some even get into the extent of what we call child abuse. Some parents use children to work in their farms. Some use some to go hawking.
Yeah, even at
Yeah.
night.
Even at night, right?
Yes.
Late into the night.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are things we need to guide against.
Okay.
So how do we do this? We can do this by getting the children, get themselves gainfully employed.
Okay.
And when we talk gainfully employed, we don't always think, people think of money.
Okay.
No, but here I'm thinking of the children acquiring some other kind of skills
Oh, okay.
or knowledge that will help them in future.
Definitely.
Yes. Whenever I talk, I take myself as a case study because I have children.
Mm-hmm.
And as a teacher, I've been trying to guide these children, and I think that they are going successfully. And I would like any other person in the society to copy.
Okay.
Yes. You can get your child, maybe, in our schools, there is this computer which is being taught, which is new,
Yes.
but the teaching in school is not effective and it's not in depth.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a child goes to a computer school, the knowledge because he's going to actually have the practicals. And you send children to go and learn computer. I have a child in my house who is a computer wizard now,
Wow.
and that he never learned it in school.
Yeah, and that's how I also
Yes.
learned computer.
Yeah,
It
he
was
did
during
that.
holidays as well. Yes, it's
He
good.
did that during holidays, and I had to make the sacrifice. I have another one who is a pianist. That one, he never learned it in any school. He learned it informally. We had to sacrifice for it. There is another one who is let me say a musician, and he learned that too informally.
Wow.
So those talents, they are in the children. We need to guide them, develop those talents. Yes. Then there is even this activity that maybe a child who has been in class for long and it is becoming monotonous. So the child needs to change activity.
Okay.
Yes, for the brain to relax from one form of activity and then get into another. So by the time that the child comes back to class, then the brain will function normally. I'm sure there are many psychologists who will tell you
agree
more
with you.
about that. Yeah.
All right, there's this criticism, I know you've talked a little bit about it, surrounding the organization of holiday classes during holidays, and that students, they, just like you said, that are supposed to be resting. As staff of the Inspectorate of Basic Education, what do you recommend? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, though I've started talking about that holiday classes, it depends what kind of classes they are being carried out.
Oh, I see.
Now, if we go into the formal education, what the child was learning in school and comes back home, you still bring him back to that same situation. Yeah, it means that the child has no holiday. Yeah. With us here, it is different. If in developed worlds, during holidays, you see people they leave their environment and go to a completely neutral environment. Some leave town and go to the countryside to keep themselves away from the hustling and bustling of the town, the noise of the town. So if you have a child and you want the child to learn, let the learning not be formal.
Okay.
Yeah, let it be something different. Let the activity that the child has to indulge in be different from what he had formerly.
Okay.
Like the classroom work. Yes. We can learn in that various forms of learning. So you don't only learn by sitting in class and getting a teacher writing on the board, copying notes and all that. Yeah.
Okay.
So they can learn informally. Just a change of environment is already learning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so as a parent, like, how do you utilize your 3 months of holidays?
Yes, as I said, I always take myself as an example. During the 3 months holidays, I get myself involved. First, I always look at my background as a man coming from a peasant background. So first thing I always tell my children, you see, this soil as you see like this, it does not deceive anybody.
That's true.
Yes, so we always involve ourselves in agriculture.
Okay.
And when we talk of agriculture, I don't need to go to a kind of extensive agriculture that you go and you labor children from morning to evening.
Yeah.
Take 1 or 2 hours, you go and work in a garden. At least by the time you come back to the house, you are satisfied that you have done something. You have done an exercise.
Okay.
Yes. So, and which is payable. Not even not immediately, may in the near future. You reap something from it.
Definitely.
Yes. So other than sending children to go carrying loads or carrying buckets of fried granules or cooked eggs and moving about from one end of the town to another.
And that's also risky.
Yes, and it's risky exposing them
to a lot of things.
A lot of things like, you see, there are a lot of pedophiles around, and you see, some children even end up being raped, especially the female children.
You're right.
So if you, the parents, you guide the children, you involve them in activities which you yourself you supervise. Yes. Don't allow them just like stray animals and they just begin to go. When you guide your children, at the end, they'll be successful.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ekwebe David. It was really nice learning all the tips on how we could engage children during holidays.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine.
All right. So that's it. Let's have a break. When we come back, we're going to welcome our next guest. Stay tuned to Good Morning K-Town.
Crystalline Empire. Wildlife. Manakwe. Chetty Pay. Manakwe. Boma dosta for my cause. Really chop me tumba. There we give him and then toes. I say, it's telling me you never reach, you done the boss. You depend, say all time you been a fine wall. Whoa, just no. Man, they just the chill. Think that they done the high. When them know they on their heels. Them I belong on the sweet oh boy. Don't be na shit. Nana me, I done the rap. And the chop, I know the twist. Listen, be the fryer con. You dey for respond, now you want the run. Now all my men, they don't tell me like gun. Bring a bitch up, any bit I go burn. Who breaking the rules, they say that your head deep in a mess. But me no correct.
Welcome back. This is Good Morning K-Town, your breakfast show on KCBS TV. Our next guest is a man of many hats. He is an actor, a man of God, a video editor, a motivational speaker, and the founder of a non-governmental organization. Let's welcome luminary Obaha Edet Golden. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Wow.
Thank you for having me.
It's such an
here.
honor to have you here this morning.
I'm glad. The pleasure is mine.
Oh my God. So you are involved in like a lot of things.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually.
Yes. So how have you been able to excel in all these things?
Yeah, the first thing is dedication and the
Okay.
passion that I have.
All right.
I have a very good work ethics,
Okay.
which
Very important.
I believe is the major factor for any man willing to succeed.
Good point.
So my work begins very early in the morning. I get up, do my meditation, and then get straight to work.
Okay.
I work late into the night before retiring back home.
Do you have like the 8 hours of sleep that they recommend, that doctors recommend, like 8 hours plus?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't,
Okay.
depending on my workload.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
All right. So do you keep a schedule, like from this time to this time, this is what I'm doing, from this time to this time, this is what I'm doing?
Yes, I do. I do have my daily chores.
Okay.
I know that I get up in the morning, this is what I'm going to face. I have videos to edit out to people. I'll face that early in the morning.
Okay.
And then later in the day, I'll also tackle other aspects of mine that I'm also in control.
All right. That's
I
good.
also have a pressing section which I'm running, which is my desire to save. You know, knowing that there are a lot of problems around the community. Those problems need solution.
Absolutely.
And so I got up and said, okay, I can provide solutions in this area, and that's basically what I do on a daily basis.
Yeah, you know, that's the recommendation. You know, the starting point for every business should be the desire to solve a particular problem within a community.
Yes.
That's actually the recommendation. All right, let's talk a little bit about how you became a video editor. Take us through it and when it started.
It started many years ago.
Okay.
And actually, what motivated me was the frustration I was facing, because I had been a cameraman working out there in the field. So when I got a video camera and developed interest in video coverage,
Okay.
we used to take the footages to an editor in town then. I don't want to call his name for some confidentiality. But it was very frustrating. The machine was slow, the work was not good,
I know.
and it was most of the time overcrowded,
Yeah.
and he didn't have enough facility to handle the workload that was coming to him.
Absolutely.
And then I think most discouragingly, it was into alcohol. and
I see,
each time he does so many things, you find out the wrong spellings,
Oh,
a lot of errors, which is as a result of lack of concentration and coordination. So in the midst of this frustration, I saw it as a problem. I said, but what do I do? Each time I go and present my job somewhere, they always call me back.
Clients always have
And they complain,
complaints.
say, hey, I no fit spell mortuary. You know, which kind of people this? I no fit even spell hospital. This go and wipe these errors. So it was really frustrating. So I said, okay, if this is a problem, then who's going to solve it? That was when I developed interest in going into video editing
So I
to
can
solve that problem, because
do it yourself.
each time we met in that place, there were other cameramen who were facing the same problem I was facing.
Okay.
So most of them only ended up in complaining about it. But I decided that I'm going to do something about it. And that was when my editing career began,
Wow, that's
from
good.
that frustration.
That's good.
So I was able to link up with a guy who had the same passion, and it's of late now, Matthew Gango.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people in K-Town know about
Of
him.
course.
He was quite a good guy. So we joined forces.
That's good.
We started exploring. We went to Douala, got some materials, started teaching ourselves, and it was basically autodidactic. I did that, using the facilities on the internet.
So you're self-taught.
Yes, and exchanging ideas with this particular guy I'm talking about, who was equally willing to learn
I see.
and to solve the problems we were all facing
All right.
with this particular
Oh,
man.
that's good. That's a very nice story.
Yes.
I like it.
And that was how I was motivated into video editing.
All right. So let's touch on your acting career. Just tell us the movies that you featured in.
Yes, I featured in a movie called Hard Decision.
Oh, Hard Decision.
Yes, and in that movie I was.
I've watched it. I've watched that.
Okay, you have.
Yes.
In that movie, I was acting the part of an uncle to a lady who was facing difficulties in taking a decision on who to marry. You know, so that character, I was the uncle character, and I think that was my first outing, and a lot of my fans said it wasn't bad.
You did a good job.
Yeah, when they saw it, especially a lot of people recommended the movement of the old man.
That's true. That's true. All right. So you are also a motivational speaker.
Yes.
And from what I know that motivational speakers are born out of like challenges, right? So did you surmount any important challenge that you've now become a motivational speaker? Tell me about your journey.
Yes. We all face difficulties in life, and sometimes when my passion into motivational speaking began when I was observing the community to which we live.
Okay.
And what I noticed all over the community, young people spend most of their times in bars, drinking, eating, watching giant screens,
Okay.
showcasing football, superstitious movies from Nigeria
Okay.
and other places, and other violent movies from the West.
Okay.
And I observed this scenario very ubiquitous. I said, but it cannot be like this. What is wrong? Something is wrong somewhere. Then I saw a problem.
Okay.
I said, okay, I decided to make some research to understand why are these youths behaving the way they behave.
Okay.
Parents will only end up criticizing them, condemning them. The society will speak ill of them. But I learned to look beyond that, realizing that what these young people lack is motivation. They are not exposed to opportunities which they can avail themselves of. And who is going to do that? I looked around the community. The only thing we noticed were only preachers. Were only preaching most religious messages,
Okay.
which wasn't strong enough because he didn't change the situation. I said, okay, if I develop, because first of all, before you give out, there must be an input
Okay.
before you think of an output. If you think of changing anything, you must first change yourself. So my journey for change began at that phase, observing the societal degeneration and seeing the society becoming graves where talents are buried,
All right.
potentials are buried.
That's interesting.
Young people only hang in front of those screens. Some were on the draft spots. If you go out in the morning like this, you will see a lot of them
Yeah, very early in the morning.
hanging in uncompleted buildings, in football pitches. Some are hanging around the gambling boxes. You see them, they're trying to stake,
Okay.
thinking that success comes from staking. It doesn't. So I began the process of self-development,
Okay.
reading from books,
Books. Okay.
getting acquainted with speakers whom I saw their videos on the internet.
All right.
And then I developed a relationship and a passion with them, communicating with some of them, and then learning the art of public speaking.
All right.
from
that's
that-
good. Very important.
From that observation.
So when you're faced with a group of let's say young people, what's your primary message to them?
The development of indigenous talents,
Oh, okay.
of which I believe in that strongly. Everybody came to the planet endowed
Okay.
with 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 different types of talents, giftings, and depositings.
Okay.
So I try now to spur up, increase that enthusiasm in them,
All right.
that they can develop what they have and make something out of it, just like I did in mine.
Okay.
Mere observing a situation that was deplorable, I didn't only end up complaining. I rose up to do something, and it's now a source of business.
Excellent. So, in the midst of everything that is happening, at what point did you feel the call of God?
Okay, at a certain time when my life was full of despair,
Okay.
I had some bad influence around, you know, as any other youth growing in this particular community, where all these scums are found,
I know.
all these shambles are found. So I was also a victim. We had friends where we were always moving to these same tom-tom bars,
Okay.
drinking, spending all our money over the weekends. What we were able to make from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we will end in the bars, eating, drinking, socializing in a way that it was detrimental to our growth,
All right.
financially and otherwise. I had pennies in my pocket, nothing in the bank. And at a certain time, when I listened to somebody speaking, talking against that type of riotous lifestyle, I said, wow, this is the way I have been wasting my life. And the person actually pointed me to Christ as a solution
Okay.
to
That's
the
good.
problem. And I believed him. I said, okay, let me give it a try.
All right.
And that was how I ended up in church.
That's good. That's good. So how have you impacted others? Probably we are all into skills, you know, especially as a video editor or motivational speaker. Have you impacted others like the youths?
Okay, to those who care to come around me,
Okay.
I do speak to them
Okay.
most of the time. And I had organized some training some time ago where a couple of youths were interested
Okay.
and they came. Because you can't deal with people who are not interested in what you're doing.
That's true.
So first of all is the interest. Those who were interested, I put them through. Those who were willing to even sacrifice some token to acquire the skill, they did. And some of them are doing well somewhere else where they are. One of them is now somewhere in Boya.
Okay.
He left Kumba because of the crisis. He said he's locating to a safer zone.
Okay.
So probably he's doing well there. And there was another young man who came around. He's operating somewhere in Mamfe.
That's good.
He passed through my laundry department. And then he left for that part of the country. Though I've not heard much about him, but when he left, he said he's going to open
Oh, okay.
in
That's
Mamfe.
good.
Then in my own Episcopal outing, I minister to young people in the church
Okay.
where I fellowship. I speak to them on daily basis, on weekly basis, on Sunday. You know, also have a social aspect in my gospel,
Okay.
because the gospel is not only about spiritual. It also has something to do with the social orientation of the individual.
Very important.
Man is tripartite, the way we believe it, that man is a spirit that has a soul and lives in a body.
Body.
So you must have messages that addresses these three compartments
Yeah, that's true.
of man. Telling them things only about spiritual, it doesn't solve daily problems. It doesn't put food on the table. But when you give them messages that touches their soul, messages that strengthens their hands, and that is when you see them really doing something.
That's
And then beside that, I also created an organization called Hands and Minds Empowerment International.
Okay.
Then I equipped the place with a lending library. I got books from people who decided to collaborate with me
All right.
and send books, Christian-based books and literatures and novels, which are displayed in the place, and then call on the general public to come and lend out the books and read. That is to
Okay. That's good.
to spur up a readership in the hearts of the youths.
All right. That's
Those are
excellent.
some of the steps I've taken.
Wow, that was really nice. Thank you so much. It was really inspiring talking to you this morning. I feel really motivated this morning.
All right. I thank you too for giving me that opportunity. And another thing which I have done in that light,
Okay.
since I am an author, that's what I told you.
All right.
I also put out 2 motivational books.
Oh, okay.
In good titles,
Oh, all
like Impacting the Society and Unleashing Your Latent Power.
All right.
Those books are available for whoever cares to read.
Where can one get the book?
They are in my resource center
Okay.
in Lumumba Street.
Okay.
That's where they can get the books.
All right, thank you so much.
To those who care.
I wish you all the best.
All right, thank you too. It's my pleasure.
All right. You're watching Good Morning K-Town. Let's have a break. When we come back, we're going to welcome our next guest. You stay tuned. For sponsorship and publicity, KCBS TV can be reached on +237 677 175987 +237 675 794636. Email info@kcbstv.net.
This life is a journey that we gotta pass through. We got a destiny we must get to. So why some people gonna try to change the destiny of others? When you know see them alive, it's in you. Nobody can stop now. Ever do me, well yo, that's why I am trusting everything you do. You're so generous, that credibility, you have got it, the way you fight for me, me no doubt it. Daddy, daddy, me no doubt it. Daddy, 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 me no doubt it. Me never gonna see no misery, cause I'm already kind of you. See them run, them go fly, and you try to catch me. Let me see them run. For you, I've been a Rastafari, 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 Rastafari. For you, I've been a Rastafari, 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 Rastafari. I love the way you said the things that hold me. No evil.
Welcome back. This is Good Morning K-Town, your breakfast show on KCBS TV. Our next guests are from the Hope Palmer Hospital, Kosala Kumba. Let's welcome Dr. Meswe Ovis, medical doctor, and Fortabe Hippolytus Fonjok, administrator at Hope Palmer Hospital. Hello, you're welcome to the program this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right. So let's begin by learning more about this name. You know, we all know it in Kumba as Hope Clinic, but it is officially called Hope Palmer Hospital. So why is Hope Clinic more popular?
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to make that clarification.
Okay.
Because from inception,
okay,
when this hospital was about to be created,
okay,
the documents that were sent to the Ministry of Public Health, absolutely the name was Hope Palmer Hospital.
Okay.
But you know, there was an error at the level of the ministry where the name that was written in the arrêté, it was Hope Clinic.
Really?
Meaning, you know, there's that aspect of always referring to a hospital, like a clinic, clinic, this. And so that is how the error came. But actually the name was Hope Palmer Hospital. Why Hope Palmer? Because the initial initiative, the founder studied, Dr. Jerry Delmaitaban Eswa studied in Parma in Italy. And that is where he came up with the idea of coming back home with an institution to help, an institution that will inspire hope in the people.
Wow, that's
and
good.
So he saw that the hospital was to bring hope, but the initiative came from Parma. And that's why the name was Hope Palmer. But there was an error in when the arrêté was written.
Okay.
So we had to try every effort, and it was corrected. Before we ever started to correct it, that name Hope Clinic had gone
everywhere
out.
and now everybody knows it as Hope
Yes,
Clinic.
if you don't refer it as Hope Clinic,
nobody
many people
understands.
will not.
Hope Palmer. I said, no, I don't know Hope Palmer. I know Hope Clinic.
Clinic, yes. But
That's
the
good.
real name is Hope Palmer Hospital.
All right.
Yes.
So why the choice of Kosala? Because, you know, when people come here, and it's been I think that Kosala has even developed, and I think Hope Clinic is part of the reason why that area is really developed now. Why was that choice?
Absolutely. Yes, you know, when the founder, Dr. Jerry,
okay,
when he came back to Cameroon with this package, the first thing that he thought was to look for a place where there can be some expansion.
Okay, that's good.
Because along the road here in Boya Road, in Krama, in Kumba Town, in Fiango, you know, there had been a lot of settlement. But as at that time, Kosala was still like a virgin area, new ground. And so he had to look for some land there, which he bought. And I remember that even when we started in 2006, we still bought some additional land around the hospital because we were afraid that if we don't buy that land during expansion, or people may come very close to the hospital, and there may be a nuisance to the patients when things start going on. Yeah. So we had to buy some other additional.
Hospitals have to be strategically located. It's very important. Okay.
So it gave us the room to have enough land where we can still do expansion. Even in 10-20 years time, we can still expand.
That's a very wise decision. All right, so the clinic has been so popular. I mean, seriously, over the years, it has become so popular. What do you think has accounted for that?
Yes, its popularity comes from something very simple.
Okay.
Before Hope Palmer Hospital ever came into play, the most of the hospitals that were existing before Hope Palmer came had a policy that if you, as a patient, you come if you don't give your money, they will not attend to you.
No,
So Hope Palmer came with a different approach.
I see.
And when you come, the first thing is that we make sure that we stabilize you. We make sure that we start attending to you, whether there is money or there is no money. Because the prime motive of that hospital was to save life and not to make money.
Okay.
And so many people, when they came, when you have money or you don't have money, they start attending to you.
Okay, that's good. That's
And
good.
Then, after a period of time, they will now tell you to pay a deposit, so that in the end, when you are going home, the bill that they give you should not look so big in your eyes, especially as people too are not really viable. So that is the first thing. The second thing is that when Dr. Jerry came and started the hospital, he was one of those gynecologists
I know.
who came and was assisting most people who had been for some time without having kids, helping men who had problem in pregnanting their wives and stuff. I quite remember there was one young man whom he taught in St. Francis, because before he went out, he taught in St. Francis. He helped that couple who had been for 14 years and the marriage was almost breaking off.
My God.
So he worked with them and they finally gave birth to twins.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so the news
The
went
news
like
wildfire.
wildfire.
I know.
And so he was one of the gynecologists in town here who was really doing a lot of exploits.
That's wonderful. All right, let's get to Doctor a little bit. Doctor, can you tell us like the services that and the various departments at Hope Palmer?
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay.
Once more, it's a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Normally, a lot of inhabitants of Kumba, due to what has been happening in our country in the past few years, know that Hope Palmer Hospital has closed its doors. So we are here and we are grateful once more for the opportunity to inform all the inhabitants of Kumba and its environs that Hope Palmer Hospital is very much open and fully operational.
All right, that's good.
So Hope Palmer Hospital operates every hours of the day, from Mondays to Sunday every day.
All right.
And we offer services such as general consultations. What I mean by general consultations is that whatever pathology, whatever diseases you may have, you can come and consult at Hope Palmer Hospital.
All right.
For pregnant women, we offer services such as antenatal consultations and deliveries. We offer operational services, general operations. We offer ecographies at very affordable prices, hospitalizations, pediatric gynecology consultations, and a broad range of auxiliary services. I mean, paraclinical. That's what I mean. We're talking about laboratory services, ecography, and all the likes. So Hope Clinic is fully operational.
All right, thank you so much. So what do you have a humanitarian arm? Because we are dealing with a crisis situation, and I know you have encountered situations where you have somebody in your hospital, the person has no money to give you. Like, how do you treat such situations?
Yes, thank you. As the administrator earlier said, Hope Clinic was founded with the idea that, in fact, the name Hope is in it. So the primary aim was not to make money, rather to save lives first.
That's good.
So whichever patient comes to Hope Clinic is attended to first before bills and money is
talked about. Okay.
So that's the main difference.
All right.
With other hospitals.
So how have you managed to you just mentioned that a lot of people feel like your doors have been closed, but how have you managed to stay afloat within this crisis?
Well, it has been very difficult, a very difficult period. And Hope Clinic has had to sacrifice a lot, including staff and their their salaries.
Okay.
But luckily, dedication, motivation, and the love for the job was always there.
It's very important.
So we continue to work despite the difficult situations. We continue to put in our best. We continue to put money aside and do the job first, even when there was no
motivation,
reward.
right?
No motivation,
Like financial motivation and all that.
Exactly.
All right, that's good. So what has been the effect of this crisis? I know a lot of institutions have been affected. What has been the effect of this 5-year-long crisis on your clinic?
Yes, the effect of these socio-political problems has been so much on the Hope Palmer Hospital.
Okay.
You know, the hospital is located close to the uninhabited area of Kumba.
I know.
And so, most of the times, the military and the boys, they usually have exchanges, and that scares a lot of people. Many people, once they hear that there are gunshots in Kosala,
nobody is willing to go
nobody is willing to come. The other aspect is that many people who are within Kosala left and went to other towns. And so, even if people in Boya Road and Fiango don't come, we expected that the people who should be able to use the
neighbors,
facility.
Neighbors.
But most of them were scared and they left. And so it really gave us some tough time. Because even people who were coming to the health facility as insurance, who were covered by insurance, many of them will not come. And so we really had a hard time. But then we thank God that in most cases we will always brief the people, we will always go on air and tell the people that it is not what they really think. And most of the times when people came, they will see that it is not what the rumor is saying. Because at times, the information that went to the people was more than what is on ground. And so many of them started coming one by one, and then we tried to pick up. But to tell you the truth, most of our suppliers who used to supply us drugs and so on, we had a hard time paying them. Even now we are still struggling to pay debts on drugs that we took, on reagents that we took, and even the workers. It has not been easy.
Okay. So I've also heard about your echography services.
Yes.
Yeah. And what are the prices now?
Absolutely. Now in the whole of Kumba, I think we offer the best echography price.
Okay.
The reason being that we understand that because of the crisis, there are so many people who don't have the means.
Okay.
And echography is mostly most women come for echography more than men, and we know that most of them, because of the crisis, the small petty business that they are doing, some of the women have come from from the periphery, and they are in town and they don't have the means, and so we had to drop it from 5,000 to 3,000 on a daily basis.
Oh, okay.
At first it was just for pregnant women, but we noticed that other women who are still to get pregnant also need the echography.
Of course, everywhere. I mean,
so we had to drop the price from 5,000 to 3,000 on a daily basis.
Okay. Have you also dropped the prices for other services?
Yes, we have dropped almost everything.
Okay.
At first, when a woman delivers normally, she will pay 15,000. Now it's 8,000 francs.
Okay.
CS used to be 180. Now it's just 130.
Okay.
And we used to charge people who are operated for bed fee and stuff, but we have decided to remove all of those, so that people can really have access to the place.
Okay.
They love the place, but since the crisis has come and many people don't have the means, we had to also look into it and drop those prices in order that people can have access to the hospital.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It was so nice having you this morning. Thank you for all the information and for all the good work that you're doing to keep the population safe and healthy.
The pleasure is ours.
All right.
Thank you very much.
So that's it. We've heard it all. Hope Palmer Hospital, Kosala Kumba. Thank you for joining us. Let's have a break. When we come back, we're going to welcome our next guest. Stay tuned.
La vie est belle, excusez-moi mon frère, American Idol, Americana, flow so sick they say I'm about to open up a hospital, here to free admission, who am I to tell them how to hate? Hustle every day to regulate, now the money coming, let it circulate, to them ladies coming, tell them to rotate, to them fake people, tell them separate, American Idol. 2017, I'm really taking over. No more sleeping over. Gotta get my whip, I gotta calibrate it, huh? Speak French, I speak English. 237, Anglophone, Cameroon, City Salaba, in a Sababa. I'm a king with a ring, cinema. La vie est belle, excusez-moi mon frère. I don't elevate it to a level, floating on air. I'm so rare, my whole team well, underrated flow. I'm a lion, 237, yeah. Eddie LaDre on the beat, rider out of boy. I mean, I don't come my Southwest in a king beat killer. So we all sinners, I ain't no killer. Don't push me, since it's gonna get stitches. And here to never get riches. Go take an L, here to take an L. I'm a winner, starting double to the end. Well, who told these rappers the music industry easy? Well, who told these rappers without money you can do it?
Philippe Miloko, the son of God.
Cameroun, mon beau pays. Cameroun, tu es béni. Enterrons le tribaliste, condamnons les tribalistes. Cameroun,
we need love, we need peace, we need love. Oh, Cameroun, Illuminati en avant. Je pleure beaucoup, je prie beaucoup que mon pays soit tranquille. Je pleure beaucoup, je prie beaucoup que mon pays soit tranquille. Pas de guerre, pas de souffrance, pas de guerre dans mon pays. Pas de guerre, pas de souffrance, pas de guerre dans mon pays. L'heure est au rassemblement et le vivre ensemble, bâtir ensemble notre belle patrie, mon Cameroun. Tu ne couleras pas, tu ne tomberas pas. Oh, so. Cameroun, we need love, we need peace, we need love. Oh, Cameroun.
le tribaliste, condamnons les tribalistes. Cameroun,
we need love, we need peace, we need love. Cameroun, l'élan de paix. Cameroun, join your hand. We are together. We need peace. We need love. One Cameroon, one heart. Allez, Camerounais, je ne vais pas t'abandonner. Aïe, mon pays, Nassima Wele Atimbewae. Aïe, Camerounais,
Binoko Tifaldo.
mon pays, le Camerounais, oh.
Vivons ensemble.
Wame bonongo, Cameroun. Wame bonongo, mon vieux Cameroun.
Binoko Tifaldo.
Le sang de Jésus couvre le Cameroun. The blood of Jesus cover Cameroun. Aïe, Camerounais.
Binoko Tifaldo.
Aïe, mon pays, oh.
Vivons ensemble.
sommet mon grand frère, the Son of God. Vivons ensemble, mangeons ensemble, faisons des enfants ensemble. Cameroun, Bobiko. Wame bonongo Cameroun. Wame bonongo Bobie Cameroun.
We no go divide up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, me come with me love from hometown. Yeah, Rastafari, never leave my paper, but sure. This is boy, I'm my hometown. Me just wanna show some love. Some love. Some love. My most precious thing. Yeah, man. Yeah, me come with me love from hometown. Yeah, Rastafari, never leave my paper, but sure. This is boy, I'm my hometown. Me just wanna show some love. Some love. Some love. My most precious thing. Yeah, man. Yeah, me come with me love from hometown. Yeah, Rastafari, never leave my paper, but sure. This is boy, I'm my hometown. Me just wanna show some love. Some love. Some love. My most precious thing.
Good morning. This is Early Captions. I press review slot on GMKT. Good morning, K-Town. You're welcome to the show. Today I'm joined by in-house journalist Eli Belua. Eli, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Today we're going to look into three papers: the Chronicle Times, Municipal Updates, and the Garden Post.
Okay.
Yeah, the Chronicle Times. This brings us right at home. The burial of Fon Mukete, V. Mukete. I think that's on the 28th.
Yeah, it's on the 28th of this month.
This month is a Saturday.
It's a Saturday, so it's very sad because
I know.
Fon V. Mukete has been an icon
In this town.
in this town. You know, with the opening of the Mukete plantation,
Many people have been
so
employed
many
by
people
that
have been
particular
employed,
family. And
he was a father of peace. He was somebody who always preached peace. And
Mukete is one of those who, if we are talking about Cameroon today, his name must be
Yes.
there. All the pillars of unification.
those are the people who went through everything, and they can tell us the story how it was.
And the 28th, I expect it to be a big event. Of course, it's not just
It should
anybody.
be. It should be.
I don't think Isaiah is going to pass unnoticed.
No, it should be.
Okay. I hope KCBS will be represented there.
We hope so.
you should be there.
We hope so.
Also, the Chronicle Times talk about after every work comes to construction. It happens with the first world, second world, all the Marshall Plan had a Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe after the war. Now the construction say GCAM supports the construction of Northwest and Southwest. So how do you think GCAM can actually be effective?
Well, it will be effective.
Okay.
Because when these constructions are done, there's going to be employment.
Yeah.
Companies will take over, because with the crisis, some companies have relocated. Some companies are afraid to settle.
Many are afraid to settle.
Yes, but if there's a commission that comes to help these companies with constructions, and the companies are based, there will be employment, because Northwest and Southwest is facing unemployment. So many people are out there. Yes,
a lot.
The reason why people just go on the streets and do crazy things because
they're idle.
They're idle. They don't have something that they are
I'll
doing.
tell what happened in Germany. Adolf Hitler, of course, was known to be a dictator. Of course, but what Adolf Hitler? If you go to Europe today, you see Germany has one of the best road networks in the world. Adolf Hitler engaged all the youths. They were working. No youth was idle. Everybody had to work. And then they will pay them later, but everybody worked. So he made sure that everybody was occupied. and see where Germany is today. So I was thinking, why can't the government not use people to make the roads? Just bring the machines and they use all the youth to employ them. And maybe, I don't know, but that is something that they should be thinking, doing. We have a lot of labor.
Cameroon has manpower.
Labor.
And if the youths are engaged in something,
I don't see why they want to go and bring Chinese workforce. Of course, the engineers and technicians can come, but the workforce should be done by locals, because you're going to increase a lot of.
calling the Chinese, even the Japanese, just for supervision.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you are bringing the officials,
Yes.
the main bed, if you are bringing the brain bed, the main labor force should be local people. Just imagine if you go to, let's take this Kumba Monimba road stretch, for example.
Yes.
If you want to tar this road, just imagine that all these villages around, you take youth there to work. Who is going to this?
What is going to be idle?
Good. And when people are idle, they don't think. Remember, they say the devil has worked for idle minds.
Yeah, since the government is out to reconstruct the Northwest and Southwest, I think that they will put it in the commission, because when youths are active, they don't have time to sit and think.
Of course, because when you go to work, of course, road construction is very
Yes.
demanding. When you work by 5, 6, you are tired. You go and sleep.
You are resting. You don't have time to move.
Yeah. So let's hope that we're optimistic. Of course, now they're talking about the GM was in their meeting the other day, and they talk about asking them to help.
And that's a wonderful idea. What the government wants to.
Yeah, it's going to actually.
It's a step.
A step in the right direction.
Yes, in the right direction.
Maybe 2 steps even.
I hope so.
Let's move to municipal updates. So what they're saying. Okay, municipal updates talks about, Honorable Ifakao died in Boya.
Yes, the
Municipal
honorable
updates talk
herself.
talking about her funeral program. Her funeral program is found in municipal updates. So if you get paper, you're going to. This also, Tuma was very powerful because she was the CPA, that is Cameroon Parliamentary Commonwealth. She was also the representative, and she was the permanent representative for CPDM in Fako. I think that was a big Kumang affair.
Yeah, but the thing is, we all die someday.
I know.
And I know that she has left
She
something
lived a good
that.
life. No,
we
somebody
should
said, this well was too good for her. Somebody said something like that. That she was too good for this
people
way.
must talk.
No, I mean, they were saying how
Yeah,
good
they
she
were
was.
analyzing.
Yeah, she was good. Either this well was too good for her, or she was too good for this well. No, she was a tough woman. She did a lot of things. Okay. And also in the municipal updates, they say GCAMBAC's reconstruction plan, Southwest and Northwest. It's as if the Northwest and Southwest is receiving much attention this time from the government.
The Northwest and Southwest has been affected for the past 5 years now with the
I know.
Anglophone crisis. And if the government wants to pay more attention to the Northwest and Southwest, then it's good, because the Northwest and Southwest produces food for the whole country. And when this area is down, that means something is lacking.
Something's lacking.
So no matter, people may say that the Northwest and Southwest are not significant, but they are to the government.
Of course.
Because
no part of the country is significant to the government.
The Cameroon government sees the Northwest and Southwest as every other
region, of course. And also, there is this caption in municipal update. They say, reconstruction, the unavoidable path to peace. I love that caption.
Yes.
Because when there is reconstruction, people get at least pacified.
Yes, people
get pacified. Because if you get up, people are angry because the houses have been burnt or school have been destroyed. But if you get up and see these structures, it plays over the mind. It plays over the mind. At least things are getting better.
There's somebody who is in his house, even if he has nothing, but he's happy.
Of course.
Because he's in his house. And when this reconstruction takes place, now they say children don't go to schools because the schools are not there.
Schools are not there. Most of
the schools have been burned down. Most of the schools have been isolated.
Yeah,
benches destroyed.
We just had the administrator from
Hope Clinic. He was
saying that in Kosela is almost a deserted area.
Yes. So, but if these things are put in place, children will have hope.
Let me tell you something. Go to a village with nobody, with no individual living, announce reconstruction, those people will come back.
Of course.
You get the point? You just go and see today, they will start building Kwakwa. You see everybody will start going back. It's my village, I want to walk.
That is it.
So I think I'm happy with the focus now on the Southwest and Northwest from the government, and we hope that it's going to be a good follow-up. I think wish them the best.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go now to the Guardian Post. We have 3 papers today. As I said, we have 3 papers today. Okay. Let's go to the Guardian Post. Okay. The Guardian Post is asking this question: is Minister Ganu Jumesi deaf, blind, or simply hates Anglophones? This Bamenda Babajo Road is a problem in this country, Eli.
Well, that caption is really heavy.
And but why is the minister said? I mean, you said something to the minister. That is his work.
You know, the issue is we should ask the minister, because that road, if we want to go back in time, there was some construction there.
Okay.
Constructions have been taking place, and when people are walking, when you're walking and you are not safe, you cannot walk.
Okay.
You can't walk.
I know.
Yes. So maybe we have this delay because of the unrest in that area. Because you can't send somebody to walk and the person comes back wounded. The next time the person will not go back again. So I believe that if they want the road to be made, they should implement security.
Okay.
There should be full security so that what they want to be
You've
accomplished.
said something also because people are so scared.
Yes, people are also
but
scared.
But in such areas, the military, they have a military corps, military engineering corps that can work there. Of course, they have. Nobody can attack the military because I was prepared. So I don't know. Why don't they use the military to maybe, let's hope they're working on that. Because why people say they hate Anglophone? Because they're saying that if it was in Anglophone, if I was side, it would have been attended to.
There are places in the Francophone sections that
which are even worse.
Which are even worse.
I know.
There are places in Douala that you
die if you're in Cameroon.
Yes.
It happens. Okay. I'm just saying this human interest story also in the Guardian Post. Say, in that customs impounds huge consignment of smuggled liquor, I'm sure from Nigeria.
You know, Cameroon, we have this tendency of consuming foreign goods more than our own products.
Okay.
And especially,
and it is the issue here is smuggled. That is the catchword here. It's smuggled. If you go and buy your wine and pay your custom duty, nobody will. Yeah. This idea of people is going to smuggle without paying the taxes, and it's dangerous because how does the government make money from taxes? People pay.
Taxes.
Now you go and buy these drinks, you don't pay. They come and make money. I think people should have some civic responsibility.
What the custom is doing now is good, because if they want to look into, there are so many illegal drinks around about.
And some of them are not sure how they are buried in the country.
Yes, they don't understand. I must tell you, there was last month I was watching AIT.
Yeah.
And there was this complaint. They said in Nigeria there are two kinds of canned Malta.
Yeah, okay.
The original and the locally made canned Malta. And then the governor of that region, I think it was in Edo State, somewhere like that. Yes, Edo State. So the man was like, he caught these people in the act. Okay. And they were producing. Now when you consume the Malta, they have people who pick the cans on the streets. And they go and clean it. And they
put whatever they put.
Yes, and they sell to the
or that can be whatever and people buy. I think the government is.
And these canned drinks, they have a duration before they tell you expiring.
Normally.
But this one expired before the time. You see that they said after 3 months, people notice that it has changed. It has a very bad taste because it didn't go through the right.
Because preservation and conserving drinks is quite a science that I have to study. Well, but I think the custom is doing. I mean, please, we don't need these drinks in the country. We shall not check. I think the custom should keep doing the good job.
Because it affects our health.
Good job, custom. Please keep doing these things for us. So, Eli, this is very interesting. The government discovered that they have a lot of fake workers in this country. And somebody says, and the government said they are going to spend 4 billion to move fake workers. Is that not ironical?
The issue is fake workers. How did they come there?
Then you need 4 billion
to
clean them away.
The thing is, I believe if there is transparency in every ministry, you will not have fake workers.
Okay.
If people come in legally
and they tag and they say extravagant beggars, you need 4 billion
to
clean your state payroll.
Why?
To pay people and those. But for this issue of, but why are we always going for loans? Never about even post of you are always going for loan. 4 billion. That is much money. That is 4,000 million.
And that money can be used to do something wonderful for the state.
Eli, I'm sure someday I hope you will be president of some of these countries. Some of these things you may want to.
No, I don't have any ambition to be a president.
Also in the Guardian Post, they say 20th May one of the causes of Anglophone problems. That's a very sensitive topic about 20th May. It's the Ghanaian policy one of the causes of the Anglophone problem. One of the root causes of 20th May.
20th marks the unitary state.
Yeah.
And if they say it's one of the causes,
maybe Anglophones are not happy, probably because they're aware of 20th May. They all say that they have not been actually fully integrated in the system.
What? The problem I have is it is the Anglophones who are killing the Anglophones.
Not even the other way.
Yes, if we want to look at this thing critically, it is those who say they are fighting for us, they are the ones killing us.
Yeah. So they can't 20th May. But issues like 20th May, these are issues to me, they look very, very constitutional and parliamentary. That cannot be discussed at the level of the parliament. It's not, of course, we have opinion, of course, it's a free system, and people have the right to think. Because Pobia once said she doesn't want Kemonans to go to the bush to speak their mind anymore. So people have the right to feel. So, I mean, so if somebody says it's a wood cover report, that is his own view. And earlier, I think that's why I've just 3 papers for today, and today is midweek and papers don't come out every day.
Okay.
It was nice having you on this version of early captions.
I'm happy being here. I'm always happy.
Viewers, that's all we had today for early captions. Thanks for watching. Stay glued. Good morning, K-Town continues. Thanks for watching KCBS. Bye-bye.
For sponsorship and publicity, KCBS TV can be reached on +237 677 175987 +237 675 794636. Email info@kcbstv.net.
Hey. Alright.
S-Bling on the track.
It's alright. Give me the mic, y'all. No commodity compared to your beautiful intensity. Mon joli baby, nyango, bet you're priceless. No I say I'm going bonkers for your dolo, but I wonder why my love for you at this moment is endless. Like Sanaga, I got the flow on daily basis. I'm not a womanizer, so your friends they give me faces. But my mind is made up, I don't follow several cases. Truthfully, this affection has developed in me for ages. Alright, I wanna make you see the use of my dollars. So baby, pardon my manner. Some other ladies are jealous. Don't wanna take your place in my heart, but impossibly they kinda giving the use that juju. Nobody can change up the colors of my love for you. Be my lady, and the way you're happy. I live it the most for sure, I'm ready to have a baby with you, honey. I know it's heavy to become a daddy. My angel, you're my one and only beautiful shawty. Okay, let's go. Die for you now. Nobody fear what I fear for you now. Go see me, I die for you now. Nobody fear what I fear for you now. Cameroonian girl tell me say she want marry me, oh. I hope say she fi cook it at you. This kind of love no get to part two. Baby girl, I say, your body not killer, oh. My heart beat, I don't touch your body. Girl, I tell your body. Baby girl, you bad. I love the way you are. I demand over you, girl. I demand over you, girl. Girl, you are a woman, my superhuman. I demand over you, girl. I demand over you, girl. I'm down for you now. Nobody fear what I fear for you now. Go see me, I die for you now. Nobody fear what I fear for you now. Yeah, it's your boy Kosi. Come on, fast as yo, aka CFR, aka Kos. Give me the bag, yo. What up?
For sponsorship and publicity, KCBS TV can be reached on +237 677 175987 +237 675 794636. Email info@kcbstv.net. For sponsorship and publicity, KCBS TV can be reached on +237 677 175987 +237 675 794636. Email info@kcbstv.net. back to Good Morning K-Town, your breakfast show on KCBS TV. Now, let's welcome Elizabeth Belua with Soul Talk. Hi, Ellie. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay.
You're looking nice this morning.
Oh, thank
How's
you.
this color called?
This color? Peach.
Peach. Ah, okay. Peach.
Okay.
Right.
I'm very happy today.
Okay, that's good. I love happy people.
I really laughed yesterday.
Okay.
You know.
Laughter is good medicine.
My kids in the house.
Okay.
So they were both arguing.
Okay.
Now it was the little one said is brush before meals.
Okay.
The bigger one said brush after meals.
All right.
So they were both arguing, and one said, no, you brush before meals. The other one said, you brush after meals. That is how to take care of your mouth. That is before, in the morning you brush, and in the evening you brush before sleeping. And they were seriously arguing, and I just said that. The one said, no, you brush before meals. And the other one was like, means when I brush my mouth, I eat. The one said, no, you brush after meals. He said, no, how can you eat before you brush your mouth? You brush your mouth before you eat. He said, no, you eat before you brush your mouth. So they were just there arguing, and they were both right. It's just that they didn't know that one is in the morning and the other one is in the evening. They argued until they almost fought. I said, please, people should not fight. And when I explained it to them, they understood that it was brush in the morning and you brush in the evening. You know, that's very healthy for our teeth. It's good that we brush our mouth in the morning and in the evening. It helps us, you know, after eating every day, we should at least keep our mouths clean.
My mom was brushing every time. I don't know whether it was before or after. My mom, she brushes like every time, like even after eating a meal, she brushes. Like seriously.
Is she a medical person?
Yeah, my mom is a retired nurse, and she's just brushing all the time. And I don't really understand. So I was like, have you already eaten, or are you still to eat? So why are you actually brushing now? Tell me the reason.
You know, there are some times when you're very tired and lazy to go take that toothbrush. That's why it's
especially at night
to use the mouthwash.
Yeah, for lazy people, we'll just take and put it
the mouthwash.
Okay.
Anyhow, that was just it. So I want to ask you a very personal question today. So what's your level of education?
My level of education, I have a degree.
Okay, you have a degree. That's good. Have you ever met somebody who has a PhD?
Of course, many.
Have you ever met a professor?
Of course.
So how did you appreciate their level of education?
Yeah, I love associating with such people because I had a dream of having a PhD by 27. So I'm always attracted to people who have PhDs, and I love to have interactions with them.
Why are you attracted to them? Is it just having the certificate that I have a PhD?
No, they have some. They always have things to say. It's good to learn from them, you know, from their experience, from their learnings and all that. So they always have good things to say. You learn from them.
So that means educated people have so much for you to learn.
Yeah, of course.
And people who are not educated,
they also have. You can learn some other things from them as well.
Now, will you associate more with people who are educated or people who are not educated?
I literally associate with everybody, but I might have a lot more to talk about with people who are educated.
Because they have a lot of experience.
And probably we align in our conversations. We say things that we both can. We are interested in the same topics and probably the same things, because those are also my interests.
Okay, that's good. That means you have a wonderful notion about being educated.
Okay.
You know, there's one thing that we should all know. You see these certificates that we carry around. My degree, advanced level, ordinary level, PhD, master's degree. It's just a piece of paper.
Okay.
You know, our real education is seen in our behavior.
Okay.
That is why there's some educated. Have you ever met somebody that the person says, I'm a doctor, and you ask yourself, is this man really a doctor? Now the person portrays a character that it's questionable. That's the irony about us learning, because we just go, we just learn. There are some values in education that you have to know. There are people who have the degree, and the way they speak to others, you ask yourself, was this person educated? Did this person do ethics and morals? You don't have any the same manners of approach. You speak to people anyhow because you have a degree. That's just a piece of paper. That is what we should know, that there are times when you need to put your certificate aside and talk to people with some morals. It is because that person is not educated does not make that person less than a human. It's still a human. So we should know how to address people despite us being educated. Because people value you, not because of your certificate, but the way you present yourself.
Okay.
There are people that when they speak, you think that this person has a PhD. But maybe the person just has the first school living certificate. But the person has inculcated that morals, that value of talking to people with respect, understanding individual differences. Most of our youths today that come out with the degree, the masters, the PhD, the way I see them portray themselves, I'm like, I'm not sure if that education passed through you. You know, I had one of my teachers, he said that students of now, we go through education. Education does not go through us. That's because when we leave the school and we come to the job market, the way you present yourself, it's very bad.
You know, I think it's a matter of, learning to, there are certain things that we really don't learn in school, right? You don't go to school, there's no class called humility class. Or let's say today we are learning about how to be humble. Those are things that you learn in society, and then there's a tendency that when people attain a certain level of education, they feel like they are on top of the world.
Yeah,
that's the cause of that bad attitude. We said yesterday that the only disability in life is a bad attitude, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and so I think that's the reason. Some people just feel like they are the only ones from their tribe that has had a PhD,
and so what?
And then they just look down on people and all that. So I think that's a very good issue you brought up this morning, that at the end of the day, your character
the
matters. Way you interact with people,
yes,
the way you talk to people matters a lot. Because even if you have a PhD, I would not want to have a conversation with you if I find out that you're arrogant, right? If you're arrogant, who wants to talk to somebody who is arrogant?
You see people with master's degree and they tell you that, okay, you have a master's, come have a job, come and be a cleaner. And you say, me, with my master's, please, do you know the cost of masters in Cameroon? Please, do you know? Start asking questions. That means that education did not go through you.
Yeah, but seriously.
No, see, it's just that we like minimize our potential.
No, the truth is that, let me tell you, in that situation, right? If somebody who has a master's, you see a position, right? And you feel like you can do a cleaning job, go and do it. But for you to see you have a master, come and do a cleaning job, it's like you're insulting that person. Right?
No. The thing is, you can't see.
How can you you can use this or say, come and do a cleaning job where you have a master. Allow the person to make the decision.
Let me tell you something that is
the manner of approach also matters.
Let me tell you something that is very funny. I have an aunt. She was a cleaner at the Kumba City Council. She's a trained teacher. She was a cleaner there. She gets up, she comes, she cleans the whole office. But there were people in positions who don't have her level of education. Now there was a day that the inspector, I don't know who came, and he was doing auditing. Now, she was a cleaner, she cleaned and she sat down. So they asked her, who are you? She says, I'm a cleaner. And the man was talking to her. Now the way she spoke, the way she presented herself, the man had to go back and ask that, what's the level of education of that cleaner? That is how she left from being a cleaner to, they say, chef, is it chef de bureau? Okay. That is how she just left.
And that's good, but how many times do those kind of stories happen?
No, it don't.
No, what I'm saying, that it is not bad for a master's. To do a master's is hard. You have to undergo research. You're reading every day. It should be someone's personal decision, right? You say, okay, if there's this position, you know, I don't mind being a cleaner because probably you know where. But you don't come and say you have a PhD, come and be a cleaner, or you have a master's.
No, the thing is, PhD. When you have a PhD, you should not look for a job.
Okay, you create job. Even masters,
yes, PhD,
you create
that
a
is
job.
why they say doctor of physics.
Yes.
You must be able to defend that title.
Yeah.
Now, so that is it. I believe that when we have that my main issue is the way educated people talk in the society.
Yeah. No, that's right.
The way we present ourselves in the society, because I've seen so many of us, especially ladies. You have a master's degree and you see this guy, hello, good morning, what? Who are you? You start asking, this one who has just first school, and you are greeting me.
Oh, even greetings, is
no,
not
there
allowed.
are people. I'm telling you, there are people who don't associate with people who are not up to their class. They have done that stratification.
Okay.
Like when you talk, and there are sometimes when you don't understand something, the person who is not educated may have the idea that you need.
Well, ideas can come from anywhere.
Yes.
You know, ideas come from anywhere.
So
Inspiration, you never know.
Yes, inspiration comes from. So let us know how to interact. Put aside that piece of paper. And know how to interact with people, be it people of your class or people who are not of your class. Know how to interact with them, because everybody counts in the society. Because I can stand here and I saw something on Facebook now where like you're here and here. Now they wrote a number 9. From my point of view is number 9.
Different perspective.
From your point of view is number
6. Yeah.
And they say 2 people were arguing, but they are both correct. But they were seeing it from different perspectives.
Okay.
And that is how we should live our lives. It's good to have the certificate. It's good to be addressed as Dr. Mrs., Dr. Mr. It's good to, but please let us know how to interact with people. It is not all the time when they ask you that, hello, what is your? I had this uncle of mine. Hello, what is your? If you don't call him Dr. Mr., he doesn't answer. You must say Dr. Mr. Yes. You address him, say, address me as doctor. I spent time to get it. I have the knowledge, I have the wisdom. I'm like, okay. You see, that was just it. You know, just with what he's saying, he might be saying it just for saying sake, but he's pushing somebody away. He doesn't know that me, that I don't have this, my doctor, so let me just come and sit down. So you see, that's it.
All right, that's interesting, and it's true, you know. So it's just a message out there for people to humble themselves, interact, because you can learn from anybody,
and especially
you can learn
us
from
women.
everybody. You know, stories can inspire you and help you to understand a certain aspect in your community, and then you can start a business, even as a PhD holder or a master's degree holder, or even as a degree holder. You know, and I'm so happy that you really brought that up, because I think a couple of years ago when I graduated from university and I came home, I used to have a lot of young children. I've just grown up with a lot of children, so I'm very used to children and I love hanging out with children. And then this girl, she said I look like someone who just left school from 3, because I was too humble in her opinion. And she was literally arguing with somebody who told her had a degree, and she was like, no, that girl, no, she doesn't. She's a house help. because I'm always hanging out with children and we are discussing, and I love children, so I love hanging out with children. And also I really get it. Imagine that kind of person with a degree.
Oh my God.
What do you want to show? Every year about 5,000 students graduate from the University of Boya only, forgetting about the other universities. And then what is a degree now? What do you want to show? You want to carry the whole world in your hand, on your head, that you've had a degree.
Women, you're like,
and so it's important.
Guy wants to get married. Hi, you. Excuse me. What's your level of education, please? I just left from 5. Do you know how educated I am? Should we engage ourselves in a conversation? You know, I had one of my friends. She said that she can't get married to a man who is below her standards because they will not be able to communicate. I said, what? I said, it depends on your notion of communication. It depends on how you see communication. I said, because if you see communication the way I see it, I don't see how you're not able to communicate.
No, you know, that issue is also one thing in society. You can get married to any man, but the most important, men also have their issues. A lot of men are insecure. By the time you guys get married, you want to pursue something in your career, probably go over to Harvard Masters. No, I don't want to have a book. You can't talk grammar of a house. So men have their own issues. Forget about those things. Men, they are the highest insecure people when it comes to that. A lot of them. So you need, for a woman who is educated, you need a man who is secure, even if he has.
No, the thing is, you say men are insecure. That's when the man feels threatened.
Yeah, they become threatened, right?
There's a behavior that you put that makes a man being threatened.
No, even without even knowing, as soon as a man hears that this girl has a PhD or they run away. I'm telling you.
See, one of my lecturers, Dr. Elizabeth,
very few of them are confident
she told
enough
me that
to stay.
A man who gets married to an educated woman is like a snake. Then we asked her, Madam, why? She said that you see a snake, that when it's there, you can be here, it doesn't move. But immediately you come closer to it, it feels threatening. That's how men are. That if you don't do something, it's not threatening. And I told the madam that nobody can sit beside the snake, that people do it. That keep a snake here, sit here. As long as it's there and it doesn't feel threatening, you don't do anything to it, that it will never react. Most of the women who are educated, they threaten their men in some way.
Threaten them how?
Like, you get up in the morning, you know that as a wife, you have to prepare food for your husband. Your class is by 7 a.m. Get up by 5 a.m. You don't get up by 6:45. You tell your husband, oh, husband, please, I'm late for my class. The egg is there, bread is there, just make tea. The man starts feeling threatened.
All right, so now we are going to gender roles. Who said that it was a woman that has to prepare food in the house?
No, that...
Who said that it was a woman that is supposed to prepare food in the house? May I believe that every home has its own dynamic. As a man, if you have a wife who is a university lecturer, and then probably you are not doing something much, so you expect the woman, you have to balance. Every house is unique. Do not compare with any other person. So we are going now to gender roles, you know.
No, that's how men feel threatened. You have to wash his clothes, and you say, no, I'll not do that. Nah.
So who said that it's the woman that has to wash a man's clothes?
Of course, the woman.
Who said it?
Men can do that.
Just so that
sometimes.
it's our own African.
Yeah, it's the African way.
But so if your wife is the breadwinner of the family, so the wife has to get up and wash the clothes and cook the food.
It's not as if she has to do it like a daily routine.
I mean, if you said she's the one, means it's a daily routine.
No, let her just do it. You know, women, if you have, that's why we have modern tools. If you have a refrigerator, there are husbands that don't eat food prepared by the maid. You prepare your husband's food, put it in the fridge. Tell him that this is how things are going to be. Talk to him in a very calm manner. He will understand no man is an animal. Speak to him like the man. And when you do that, you just keep the food, and he knows that his food is there. When it's time, you like prepare the food, remove it, and that's all. Life continues.
A lot of things need to really change seriously in Africa. I remember one of my fathers here. He went to his son got married to a white lady, and then he went to travel abroad and saw the way things were happening. He was like, "What? You've become a slave to this woman?"
No, I also was that's AY. I think 30 days. 30 days in Atlanta. That it's a film, and the man was like, "Oga, uncle, in Africa, this thing does not happen. In America, you're the one cleaning the house."
And you know, the most interesting thing is that these same men, our young guys who live here and go to the United States and get married to African ladies, they go to they are nannies, they take care of their children, they cook for their wives. Seriously, they do all the things that they don't do here. Why do they do it there and they don't do it here? So, you know, at the end of the day, we blame it on our forefathers. Okay. They have set the pace and we are following. All right, Eli, thank you. It was really interesting this morning. Thank you so much. And we are wrapping the program as always.
I hope you not see somebody one day and say, please, I have a degree. What's your level of education before you talk to me?
Very interesting. No, I don't really carry my degree on my head. Yeah. When I move around, because I mean, there's still masters and there's PhD. If I had a PhD, maybe, but
no, you carried on your head. Okay, Doctor Mrs.
Yeah, I said Doctor. Please, point of correction. Can you do it again? Pronounce the name again.
Doctor Mrs.
Thank you, Eli. All right, thank you so much. So we are wrapping the program this morning. We want to thank you, our viewers, for sticking by with us this morning. It was so awesome. Many thanks to all our guests who made it here and made this program so interesting and wonderful this morning. We want to thank our technician, the Don, Nembo Rodrigue. Thank you for all the hard work. Many thanks to the producer of Good Morning K-Town, Eswa Julius Folsong. Thanks to our cameramen for doing a wonderful job this morning. We want to sincerely thank all our viewers in Cape Town and around the country, those who follow us on Facebook and those who are glued to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe to KCBS TV on YouTube. And also, if you have any contributions, you can send to info@kcbstv.net. We want to thank all those who are watching us from all over the world in Dubai, England, Ireland, Canada, Denmark, Nigeria, Swaziland, South Korea, Germany, Japan, the United States, Equatorial Guinea, and India. Thank you so much. I have been Christy Ijang, and join us again tomorrow for another edition. Until then, good morning, Cape Town.
Madame, Messieurs, NMG. Le 9 Primo. NMG dans la building. New Africa. Give me money. Amina Mata. Come make we jolly. Come make we holla the matter. Amina, I'm married man with the throwing a dollar. Amina, I'm married man with the throwing a sefa. If you no getting money, then you be picking for quarter. If you want follow Amina, you get for check your pasa. Amina, holla the matter. Holla, holla, holla. She go holla